Josh, do you know this man right up here
Oh my God, that's Jake
from?
from State Farm.
And what does Jake from State Farm do?
He appears like a genie whenever you say his name.
Yeah, and I guess in what instances? What does State Farm sell? I should say.
They sell insurance.
Yes, and this might not be a good thing, and Jake might need to, look for other places to be because State Farm was denied a
Mm.
request to increase rates in California.
Insurance Commission denies State Farm rates increase request.
Hmm. Yikes.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So, for those who don't know, at this point, it's hard to not know at this point. State Farm, one of the largest insurers in California,
Hmm.
and recently, for those who don't know, there was a giant fire in LA that
Yeah,
wiped out. It's seemingly one of the largest, or if not the largest, natural disaster in
wiped out a lot of homes, displaced a
yeah
lot of animals. Yeah, it was a
yeah
crazy thing that happened.
billions and billions of dollars in damages.
Hmm.
And because of this, they were seeking to raise rates across California on homeowners for by 22%, which
Yeah,
would be a huge rate increase.
it would be.
And this would be towards people that it's not just going to be, people in places that are more at risk. It's just going to be everybody blanket going to have to pick up the bill because what these things are is that them trying to reduce the impact of the
Money that they have to spend to cover
yes.
the loss of everything that happened to the homes that were burned down
Hmm.
and all of these other things.
Yeah, so I think it's very bad press that I mean they're trying to raise rates so they could maintain profitability because they otherwise that's the whole
But
model is that
it,
they need to take in more money than they're giving out, and in this case it's going to be such an astronomical number.
yeah, and I mean, it is very unfortunate that that's happened. Like all these homes were burned down, and but at the same time, it's like if State Farm is covering, what's
Hmm.
supposed to be covering for this, they should pay up because, and they shouldn't put the bill on these people. But it like they are a business. I do
Yeah.
understand that they're a business. They try to make a profit. I think that they probably expected this to happen. They probably already were like, "Oh, what could we do if like a fire like this does happen?"
Yeah. So let's go back to here. So what also is happening is that California is now preventing insurance companies from canceling or not renewing policies of Southern California wildfire victims. So what was happening before is that um they were getting canceled or like trying to get the insurance company are trying to like get out of paying them,
Yeah, they were.
which is, I mean,
That's terrible.
it is terrible, but
Yeah.
that's the only way. I mean, a lot of different insurance companies, that's the way it works is that
Yeah.
they try their hardest not to pay out money
Hmm.
because like the more money they pay out, the less revenue that they make.
Yeah, it's true.
So what is happening in California is that they are now holding or not allowing the companies to leave California. So let's see here. So it looks like, yeah, insurance serving authorized this consumer protection laws that requires a mandatory 1 year moratorium on insurance companies canceling or non-renewing residential insurance policies in certain areas within or adjacent to a fire perimeter after a declared state of emergency issued by the governor.
Hmm.
So they can't this like remove.
They can't just stop service or something
Mhm.
like that. It's interesting because like the thing that yeah, insurances don't want to pay up 100%.
No.
And especially on a bill this big, it's going to be like you mentioned, it's astronomical
Yeah.
on how much they have to pay.
The risk model is too high.
Yeah, it is. And for the most part, they were already like canceling insurance policies
Yeah.
prior. I think a lot of home insurance companies were canceling a lot of policies because of that. It's just that the weather's too dry for the most part. California has been in a drought, and literally anything could have set this whole place on fire. Um, yeah, it's just
It's very unfortunate.
yeah, it's really really dry in California.
I think this one was a very, it's like the perfect storm,
The
truthfully.
winds, yeah, it was the
Look, the
winds too.
winds, and then it was like prior to that, there was more, because of all the rain. There's more foliage that grew,
Hmm.
and then there was winds, and then it dried out because it wasn't raining as much after it rained a lot. So Allstate, giant paused sales of new home insurance policies in California in 2022 due to wildfires.
Yeah, it's too expensive, and and they probably saw it, and they probably saw in their risk model. They're like, hey, we can't really be doing this.
Yeah,
It's like trying to sell like flood insurance to people in like
in
Florida.
Atlantis,
Oh yeah, that's true.
they're underwater. So American National, Texas-based American National, announced last year it would stop offering home insurance in California. AM
Hmm.
Guard stopped writing homeowners policies in 2023, and then
Yeah,
Chubb, never heard, well,
never
all
heard of that
these
one. Yeah.
farmers
Oh, farmers. Yeah.
limiting coverage in California
Yeah, because it'd be too
nationwide.
expensive. Way, way too expensive.
Formed California last year, they would stop renewing all of its homeowners insurance policies in the state by June 2025. So this might be impacted as well because of
The
the
more,
moratorium.
yeah.
State Farm with
Announced in
Jake,
2023 that it would no longer accept applications for property insurance and other policies in California,
which
citing
is
historic.
wild.
Yeah, see, citing historic, scroll of it, citing historic increases in construction costs and inflation.
Hmm.
But it's probably, yeah, they probably also saw like
So
the
like,
fire because
yeah,
everyone else
well,
is noting like
is the cost, like
yeah.
the possibility that the asset would be completely destroyed.
Hmm.
So then, like, I in that risk model, they say that like, oh, it's more likely to be destroyed, and then because of the market and like how much things cost to rebuild, like the work, the material cost, and everything, and
Hmm.
like even getting like the permits and everything to rebuild, it would be astronomical.
Yeah, it would be.
So this is kind of what we're seeing here, and it is good that they're stopping them from rate increases because it's gonna, cause more issues. But I don't think this is gonna stop because I think they're gonna probably have to figure out a way to increase um, the rates elsewhere. Maybe they're gonna raise rates outside of the state of California, even though they got denied here. They might increase
Rates
everywhere
in other
else,
places,
maybe
yeah,
like
to
a
cover.
couple percentage points, but like overall, because they have so many percentage like things elsewhere, it would be less noticeable than a 22%. 22% rate increase would be vastly
That's
noticeable.
yeah, 100% it would be. It's interesting. A lot of other things that have happened
Hmm.
because of this fires, like I mentioned, a lot of like animal displacement, a lot of animals in vets.
Yeah.
I know that because I donated to the what is
Oh,
it,
eight.
Pasadena Humane
Oh, yeah,
Society.
yeah.
Yeah, to what's it called? Because they were taking in like oh my, they were taking in animals that were burned too.
Yeah, a
Yeah,
lot of vet bills.
yeah, a lot of vet bills, a lot of
Like
properties now are being
emergency.
sold like at a
Hmm.
lower price, and because people are buying like plot or like companies are buying plots of land
Hmm.
for on the cheap or private citizens, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's a lot of stuff happening with
A
this.
lot of movement in this area, but at least they were able to lessen the load. I mean, like they're trying to do something, I guess. But I mean, it's still a very bad situation
Hmm.
overall. But we'd want to know from our audience what they think in the comment section down below. What do you think about this? Was this a good thing overall? Where do you think they're gonna raise it rates elsewhere or
They're
something
probably gonna raise it in other
in other
states.
states?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see them not increasing it somehow because otherwise it's gonna be a big negative on their report. And if you stayed this long, make sure to hit that subscribe button. We come up with interesting topics like this one all the time. So make sure to join us on this journey and support the channel.